Hello. Hello. Sajogun.
Hello, hello, Mumba.
Okay, good. Let's start this class now. Today we are going to look at a way to print message in Python. The number two, we look at data types. Number three, we look at variable and variable rules. And number four, we will try to look at a way to accept input from program user. That is when you create a code and you want to get some information from the user to work on it and give out results. So number three, we look at the basic mathematical operations. Basic mathematical operations that we develop 2 or 3 projects. So if you have installed what I have asked you to install in the instructions sent earlier, you have this Visual Studio Code on your desktop. Now you should be able to run it this way by double clicking it to open, give you a blank space like this. This blank
Sorry, please. Come again.
so
The Fusion Studio app,
code.
Abby.
Yes, you double click it, then it will open blank space like this. So when
Is it separately, Abby?
yes, you open it, you just double click it. When you double click it, you have this one.
Okay.
Are you seeing this one?
We got the the page that you were asked us to be having the extension. That is what it's showing.
It's showing the page you have. Okay, it is because you have, that is where you worked last. It's
Yes.
fine, it's fine. Just look for this symbol and click on it. You have something like this here. Then you can still have the extension. You can just close it using this symbol, that extension page. Are we on the same page? Can I continue?
I'm sorry, I can't get it. Where can I've closed it down? So where can I get the app to open again?
You will get you can get it, you can open it from desktop.
Okay.
Desktop. There is a
That's
shortcut
what
on
I'm on.
desktop. When it opens now, you have do you have welcome page like this?
It shows uh, start new file, open folder.
Exactly. Yes, this page. You have this page. Good. You can close that one. Close this one from here.
Okay.
When you close this one from, you have blank space on the other side, and look for this symbol and look for this symbol to have this pin in here.
The symbol look like copy abi.
Yes, it's like a copy symbol.
Okay. I
So
should press it.
yes, click on it.
Okay.
Okay, now in programming and in VS Code, this VS Code of a thing, you need to create a folder. Then your program files, that is where in which you will be writing your codes, you now be in which you will be writing your code, you will now be saving those files inside. So we'll first of all click on open folder. Click on open folder. You don't have any folder created yet, you can click on desktop or my document, anywhere you want to save that folder. Click on new folder. For me, I will just say Python class. So that's the name of my folder. I will click on it again to make it selected so that it will show here. Then I can now say select folder. Don't worry if you can't get it right now. The playback will be available to us, but make sure you are following, you are seeing what I'm doing, and you can hear me. That is what is most important. So
Okay, so we go to desktop, we create a folder.
yes, 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 yes. So you you will see that the folder I created earlier has been selected. It is the one opened here. Empty folder without any file. You have empty folder without any file. So you can just close this one first. When you navigate to this pane, that is where your folder is opened, you have these three icons. These two are important to us, especially this one, new file. The one I'm pointing to is important to us. If you click on it, it will give you a means of creating new file. Every Python file ends with Python py. So whatever name you want to give to your file, it should end with py. That means I want to create my, by convention, all Python folder as app file. We call it app.py. I'll call it app.py. The py extension is to tell VS Code that this file is a Python file. That is the file that will contain Python code. So when I press enter, it will show all this. Ignore every other thing you have and you can just start typing. Now, in every programming language that you want to learn, the first thing that you will first of all be shown to is how to how to display a message on screen. How your program can just display any message on screen. So generally, we used to have a hello world program. That's the first program every beginner starts with. So in Python, if you want to display any message on screen, we use print function. Don't worry about some terminology, what is function, what is method, because you are hearing them for the first time. Don't just be don't worry about it. Just accept that I said there is there is something that we call print function. We use print function to display a message on screen. That is, our program will display a message on screen with print function. What is the syntax to write print function? You say print, then you click on parentheses. That is the one or the second function of 9 keyboard, 9 key on keyboard. When you press the when you click on the open parenthesis, the close parenthesis will automatically be added for you by VS Code. To be added for you by VS Code. This is a print function. So whatever you now want to write, you want to display as message, you will just write it inside the quotes. That is, you need the quotes inside the parentheses. You say quotes. When you click on one quote, VS Code will add the second one for you. That's the essence of it being an IDE, integrated development environment. If I'm writing it in a notepad, I will have to write everything. But in this case, this one is adding some things for me to make my coding to make it faster. Let's say we want to print hello world today.
And you can close it, like you said.
What has closed?
I said the environment. You know, if it is in notepad, you have to open and close.
Okay. But
you open the what is it called?
yes, when I type the when I okay, let us do it this way. Let me finish up a certain segment, I will give room for questions, so that we will not be interrupting each other. Yeah. Now you have this. Now you can now type in your text. You will see it as your hello world. Hello world. Hello world. Can you see it now? So I want to accept someone. Okay. So you have your hello world in this. This is a code, and is a complete Python statement. That is a statement that can perform an action. And how do we run code in Python? We have written code now. We want to run it. Running it means that we want to execute it. We want to make it work. We want to actually make it work. So when you say you want to run anything in a computer, that means you want to actually make the code to work. Now, how do we do that in Python? First of all, there is a terminal that is missing. There is a pane that is missing. We have this, it remains only one. So you come here in view, you can jot it down, then you look for terminal, or you use control and the backtilt. The backtilt character is the key before number one in the keyboard lines, in the number lines on keyboard. So the key before number one is the one. So when you click on this, you wait a little bit, then you get this. So when you have this now, you have where to run your code. The name of if you are working from Windows, you only need to type Python, then the name of the file you want to run, which is app.py. app.py. If you are coming from Mac OS, you might need to type Python 3. You might need to specify that you want to run it using Python 3, but in Windows you only need to type Python. I believe most of us, you are working on Windows, except someone that might be working from the Mac OS anyhow. So when you type Python app.py here and press enter, your code will run. What is our expectation from when you are running any program? You have your expectation. Our expectation from this one is to display this text, the text inside here, this text alone without quotes. Hello world. Let's see if we are able to meet that expectation. So press enter. Bravo. So we have our code runs and it shows hello world. So that means we are able to write a code and the code is able to run. So at this junction, let me entertain questions for 1 or 2 minutes.
Okay. So is this so as we are writing on the what is it called? Because this is showing like two environments: the environment for coding and the environment where it will be displaying.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Correct, yes.
So at every time we want it to display whatever that has been printed on the coding environment, we need to type Python and the name of the file we are working on.
Sure.
So can we work on multiple files at the same time?
Multiple files. I have another one here, another one here, another one here. Sure, you can. So the one you want to work with is the name you will type here. That means I have another one like app2.py. So instead of typing app.py, I will just say app2.py. That's answered. Is there any other question? You have 1 minute.
You are typing you want it to display. So and you are typing the name of the file. So does it mean that it will now be showing the word from the beginning every time you are typing, you want it to display, or
Every time you want to run it, you only need to type it once. Like now, if I want to run it again, I will not need to, if you are coming from Linux background, you understand that when I press the arrow up symbol, arrow up key on keyboard, it will show the last code I wrote last, the last code I have written, you know, and the last code I have written from here is Python app.py. If I want to run it again, I just need to press the up key to bring it up, then press enter to run it. Maybe I've done one or two modifications. Let me say, instead of this exclamation mark, I decided to put full stop. You know, I've modified the code now. I will have to run it again to test if actually it has changed from exclamation mark to full stop. Let me run it again. I just need to press the up key, then I press enter. I can see that it has changed it to full stop. So
Yeah,
our
but
okay.
sorry, but the hub key now. Let's say we now have multiple files now. Maybe you are working on you already display about 2 or 3 files.
Okay.
The hub key, how can we say
Up key will be going from one file to another. If I have written multiple python app.py here, if I have written if you press up key again, it will go to the next one in the series.
okay,
It will be going to the so till you get to the one you actually want to work with.
okay,
Or if now to the time to now navigate to where the code you have written is getting too long, you can retype it again. And let me tell you, by the time you are retype, let me take Python 1 and now say A. If you press tab key, it will complete it for you. It will suggest that it will check from here which of the files starts with A. Are you following? If you press tab key, it will complete it for you. So you can see it has completed it for me. If I press enter, I'm able to run it. So you can take that as a shortcut to work faster. So be that as it may, let's move forward a little bit. We have been able to call print function, give it a text to write on the screen, run it, and it works. That's our first. Every beginner starts with hello world. We greet the world with hello world. But there is a concept in programming. That is the concept of data type. You know, we work, any program work with different kind of data, be it number, be it date, be it money, be it text. You know, that is why we have a concept of what we call data type. There are two types of data type. We have primitive data type. Those are the basic one. And because we are just starting the class, that is the one we will learn today. We will later move to the more robust one like list, tuple, set, all those ones in the future. Now, primitive data type that are in Python. Take note of this thing. If I type this one, whatever I type in front of it on that line, we call it comments. Comment is a way to describe our program. It's a way to describe. I don't want to be using it for the sake. Sorry, let me increase the font size so that people can see
I
it.
wanted we are not seeing it.
So
Can
you,
it
you
be
can
bigger?
see it clearly now.
Can it be bigger than this?
Let me put one. Is it fine now?
Okay.
So I can delete, I can close this one. Yes, and I don't need it yet. So we have learned how to bring it up. Now I will be using the comment. The essence of this actually is a comment. It is to tell you what the line below or the code segment below will do. When I do something like this and I say, let me try to describe what the printing of hello world on screen. Printing of hello world on screen. I'm telling you that whenever anybody opens this, you can quickly know what this line means. The work it will do. It will just print hello world on screen. So, but for the sake of this class, I will be using that to pass a note I will be using that comment to pass a note so that you can write something down, because I discuss them one after the other in programming. So if you see me writing this and passing notes, so data types now. Data types. Number one, we have numbers, but we have two types of numbers: a whole number and decimal number. Whole number in Python, we call it integer. Whole number, I expect you to be jotting down so that and it is represented with ints. Integer, let me write it this way: integer. I wanted to bring up, okay, integer represented with int. Please take note, when I want to write my int, I use small letter. That is how to write it in Python. In this integer is just telling you the name. The way to write it in Python is this. That's the first thing you're working with. Then the second number, which is a decimal number. Number two, the second data type we will be working with is a decimal number. So decimal number in Python, we call it floats. Floats, represented with floats. Take note, when I wanted to write this one, I use capital F. When I wanted to write this one, I use small f. So you pay more attention to the one in bracket. This is exactly how to write it in Python. That is exactly how to write it in Python. So this is just to bring this one closer to you by telling you what it means. By telling you what it means. That you will never, after today, you never hear me saying decimal number, whole number. I will be talking about integer floats for numbers. So number three, the third data type in Python is text. Text. You know, when we say text, it means string of if I call it string, you might understand. If you don't understand, that is the series of characters, be it number in between, only letters, and some special characters might be included too, like full stop, like comma, like question mark. No, it is text. So in Python we call it string, represented like this. Represented like this. So let me, to make it more clearer for you, let me write example. Example of whole number is this: 1000. Example of decimal number: 12.5. Example of string. Example of string is Oladele Said. You know, this is a string. And take note of one thing: when I wanted to write the string, I put it inside quotes. That is how to write string in Python. You have noted, you have learned it from here. So what we have displayed earlier in our first code is what is string. That is what that is telling you. What we have displayed earlier in our code, it is string. That data type is string. So number four is Boolean, or let me say there is no other name I can call it than Boolean. Boolean, let me call it true or false. True or false here. Represented in Boolean in computer, and in Python we use bool. The example is true or false, number one. So take note of why I wrote my true, capital T. You need to check this one down. Capital T. we have false, capital F, then 1 is also a boolean. It means true. 1 means true in computer. 0 means false. Empty string means false. Empty string like this means false. Undefined, anything that is undefined also means false. That's what I can remember. In the future, we'll be working with it and we'll enjoy it more. So these are the 4 primitive data types that we need to work with in Python. Now, if you have a data that you feel that you will need to work with in your code, you need to keep it somewhere in the computer memory, so that when the program is being run, so the computer memory will have kept it somewhere. You just call where it is kept and use it in your language, in your program. And that concept is the concept of variable. Variable is a storage in computer memory where some information are kept. Information of different type. It could be integer, it could be float, it could be a string, it could be a boolean. I'm using those terminology now. I've stopped using all this blah blah blah, all the whole number. That's not what I will be calling it. I assume some of us are coming from a novice background. That's why I have to write it for you in a way that that can be understood for you. Now you have ints. You can save int in a variable. You can save float in a variable. Let's say you are working with a program that you need to store the number of students in a class. That number of students, definitely there will be no points. You cannot have 10.5 students. You can only have 10, 11, 12. That means you are using int in that instance. If you are working with money, you definitely need to cater for the cover side of the money. That means you are working with floats. It will be 12.5. It could be 1000.00. That's the standard to write money. So if you are working with like you want to collect name of students, now that name will definitely be string, because it has to be surname, second name, blah blah blah. If you are working with address too, it has to be string. If you are checking if something is existing, it is true. If it does not exist, it is false. You will be working with boolean. So variable, what we first of all need to do now, when we are talking, I've told you variable is a storage in computer that keep your information for later use. If you are not going to use it later, there is no need to declare a variable. It's a bad practice. Something you use once in your code, you definitely know that I will only use it once in your code. Just use it once and go. But if you feel that you will keep it somewhere, use it multiple times, definitely you cannot be writing it multiple times. It is good for you to put it in a variable. So let's learn what we call variable declaration. Variable declaration. So that is a way to declare variable. In some other languages it is more difficult, but in Python it is so very very easy. Python tells you that when you don't have data to keep inside a variable, don't declare it. When you don't have data to keep inside a variable, don't just declare it. So when you have data to keep inside a variable, declare it and keep that data inside immediately. That's it. So let us now learn the syntax to do that. The syntax is this. When I say syntax, I will tell you what it means. Let me say, you will first of all have variable name, variable underscore name. That underscore in Python, when you want to write any compound word, name of multiple words, instead of jam-padding them together, put underscore in between those words. Take note of that. I will still discuss more of that. Then after the variable name is written, put a space. Then you put equal to, then the value. Then the value. You understand now? Then the value. So let's try to declare one variable now. Let me say I want to declare name. I will choose the string I have written before. Name is a variable name. I'll put space in front, equal to, then this name that I've written for you earlier, the string here, So let me say I want to put it, I say Oladele Said. So I've declared this variable. That means I can use it. I can use it in my program if I want to. Now, if I actually want to display, if I actually want to print the name here, I will just say, instead of referring to Oladele Said every time, it is shorter for me to say print, open and close parentheses, bracket, then quotes. I can say Oladele Said. But since I have declared a variable that I have kept Oladele Said in, I will just call that variable and I will not put any quotes. I'll just say name. So what these two lines will do, this one will first of all save this Oladele Said inside the name, and wherever I call the name, definitely it will print its contents. What is the content? Oladele Said. Let's try to run that again. Control plus back tilt character. I have it already. So I already have hello world. Hello world will display, and Oladele Said name will display. That is our expectation from the program. So up key, press enter. We have hello world, and as well we have Oladele Said. That means our code is still working perfectly. So take note that when you want to print the content of a variable, you don't need to put a quote. If I put a quote here, what I mean is that I want you to print name, that text, not the content of the variable at this time. And take note of one thing: you have written name in lowercase here. When you want to refer to it, don't refer to this as name. This name is different from this name. Take notes of that. This name is different from this name. So we have learned variable declaration syntax, and we have been able to provide one example to show you how to do that. Now take this rule when you are writing variable in Python and some other languages, but I will be specific with Python. I will go with general and some what are specific to Python. So variable declaration rule now. That is the rule you follow when you are declaring variable. There are some that are conventional, so just follow these rules I want to start telling you. Number one, I believe you are writing. Number one, the variable declaration rule number one is that your variable name must be descriptive or meaningful. That means it must represent its content. Like now, I wrote Oladele Said. Everyone know that it's someone's name, and I then name my variable name. That is descriptive enough. If I now say n, instead of writing name n, in programming or in Python, our boss will say it is not Pythonic. This is not fine, because n does not represent. N can be number, n can be name, n can be novice, n can be anything. But you write a descriptive, meaningful name for your variable. It is very, very important. Don't be lazy and say this name is too long. If you short it now, make it short word now. By the time you come back to your code in the next 2 weeks or 3, if you are writing code regularly, that you will still need to teach yourself what Kinimofele represent then. You start thinking that what did I use this one to represent then? So instead of having that kind of problem, why can't you now write a meaningful name now that will always be useful? So whenever you get to it, you know that name means name of someone. That's the first rule you have to put in mind. Then number 2, your variable should be alphanumeric. That is, it will have letter and number. It can be, if need be. Like now we have two names. I want to give this one number one. I should not say one name. This one does not make sense. You can see it has even put red under and telling me that what I have written is the rubbish. So you will say name one if need be. That is alpha numeric, alphabetic and number. Alpha numeric, it must be alpha numeric. So alphabetic and number. Then another thing that you need to take note when you are declaring a variable is to avoid using keywords. You have known one keyword from this program. Now, keywords are some words that have meaning in Python. They have their own meaning in Python. Like, let's say, you can see now, print is a keyword. Anything that is that predefined meaning in Python, so it's a keyword. So you cannot name your variable print. No, it's not allowed. You cannot say print equals to printer. It's not allowed. This print is a keyword, so don't use it. Don't use it, because in the future you will confuse yourself. So in the future you will confuse yourself. So don't use keywords. You will get familiar with different keywords. You will learn 1 or 2 or 3 today. You have learned more than, even you have learned more than one. Float is a keyword, int is a keyword, string is a keyword, bool they are keywords. True, false, undefined, they are keywords that you cannot use in your variable. So avoid using those keywords in your variable. Then number 3, in Python, write your variable name in lowercase. All your variable name, write them in lowercase. So there is no room for something like this. Name. It's not allowed. It's not allowed. Write them that's the Python convention. Write them in lowercase. And when your variable name are of multiple words, that is more than one word, join them together with underscore. Underscore is when you press shift and you press minus, you get underscore. When you press shift and you press minus, you get underscore. Like I want to say student count. Now I want to create another variable, student underscore count. This is a way to deal with this kind of a thing in Python. Student underscore count equals to 423. So I've created a variable, I call it student count, and I assign 423 to it. So this is a way to write it in Python. And another thing that you might need to take note of in Python is that there should be no space in between your variable. Instead of writing student underscore count and I say student count, like just in English this is normal, but in Python it is abnormal. You can see there is a red line. It recognizes this one as a variable but doesn't know what to call this. So there should be no space in between. There should be no space in between. Instead of putting space, please just put underscore. Just put underscore. Put underscore. And let me pause here and entertain question for the next 2 minutes as well, if there is.
So, hello.
I'm with you.
So now, if peradventure we want to combine variables which are both numbers and text, how do we do it?
You will declare them separately. If you have a data that is text and number, that means that data is a string. Abi? So if it is one data if it is one data to you, you will create a single variable. Let's say address. If I change this one to address now,
Yes, sir.
address. Now that means address will have number, it will have number 2
Sorry.
Oladele Close, Lagos. Let me say Lagos. So definitely this one is a single data to me. So I will look for name that describe it, one, assign the data to that name by creating the variable. So don't say this one too makes sense. If I say like this, it makes sense. It makes sense. So take note of that. Another thing I remember that I need to tell you, this one is a number. It can be used for calculation. This one is a string. It cannot be used for mathematical calculation. Because why is this one string? Is because I have put them inside quotes. I've mentioned it earlier. All strings should be put inside quote, single or double. We are just used to double quote. There is a room for you to use single quotes, but almost every programmer uses double quotes. So there is no harm if you stick to
Another thing, sorry.
double quotes.
Apart from, now that we are declaring variables, it's the reason why we are not putting the code of either integral or float in front of some of those characters or datas. If you want to write it apart from you, because you have not shown us any example of that.
Example of what, please?
Okay, let's say without, you told us that a string should be represented with a small letter string. Is there every time you
Yeah,
want to
yeah, thank you, just make sure you master all this. We are coming to when you will start using them one after the other. It's the name that is being known with in Python, but we are not using them right now. There is a time you call string to call this method. I'm coming to that. Thank you. Bring torchlight. So let's continue if we have satisfied the question that are available. There are some times that you need to allow your program to take data from user. Then when the data gets into the code, you work with the data and produce output. That's basically what software does. Software will take input from you, process it, and give out output. Some of us that have done Com 101 in university, polytechnic, they will tell you software is a piece of code that take input, process it, and give out output. So how do we take input from user using Python? How do we take input from user using Python? So let me comment out this line so that I can work in peace. I will not have many things to print. So I've commented out the one that gives output. Let me comment out the second one too. So because I want to, am I permitted to delete everything I have here? If you have noted that down in your notes, there is no need for me to give it to make it. So let me delete everything I have here because I want to start a new phase of programming now. So I've deleted it. I have blank space now. What we have, sorry, don't let me just delete it like that, because I will provide this code snippet for you to look at when you are doing some assignment or practice. So I will not, let me just comment it out. Don't worry, when I get to comment, I will tell you how to do this magic. So there's some magic I'm doing. So everything now is comment. If it is comment, nothing will happen. When the program runs, it will just overlook them. Now what we want to do now is that we want to write a program to take a name from user, and the program should get that person hello that name. Are you getting it? Hello, if it is your name you input, it will say hello Jelil. If it is and somebody else's name you input, it will say hello Jogomi, anybody's name you have inputted, it will say hello that name. Sorry, give me 1 minute, let me check if my time is still okay. I have enough time. So in Python, to take input to take data from user, when you are running your program, you use input function. You have used print function to display information out. We know that now by now. But in the case that you want to take data from user, you use input function. Input like this. Input like this. Every function take parentheses. I'm coming. Let me check. Okay, someone wants to enter. I'm sorry, I will make it automatic by next class so that people will not be disturbing us. If you are just joining, please help us to mute your mic and focus on what we are doing. Now, input is what you will use to take in data from user. If I say I want to take data from user, definitely I will need that data later to work with. According to what I have told you, that you take input, process it, and give it. For the program to be able to process it, it must have kept the data somewhere. So it will keep it in what? In variable. I want to take name from user. I will say now name equals to input. That is, whatever anybody inputs, it will be saved here. It will be saved inside this variable. Now, let me now say, I just want to print the name. Like, I want to print the name plus hello. I want to print hello and the name. Let's say print now. It will have parentheses because it's a function, like I have told you. And what I will need first, I want to write hello, then that name. That means hello is a string. It is a string that I don't need to work on. It is a static data that I know from now. But I don't know the name the person will enter. That is why I will now use variable name to keep it in that variable and then bring it out later. How? Let me say I have string now, which is hello. Then that hello, it will have space in between that hello and the name, as we add space in between our first hello and the word. So we'll create that space here. Then you can now say comma to now reference this variable, which is name. So when you print it now, it will now say hello, the content of the name, which I don't know now until I run my program. Let's try to run the program. Control plus bracket character to bring up this one. Let me clear what I have here to have a clean space. Now, if I run my program now using the up arrow key and press key, you will see that it will be showing a symbol for me to write something. This one is telling me that the program will not run until you write something. That line name equal to input is in action. So let me write my name, Jelly. So I'm expecting hello, Jelly. So you should know what you are expecting when you are running your program beforehand. That when my program runs, I'm expecting. So when it is not what you are expecting, you are having what we call semantic error. Your program runs, but it produces wrong results. So take note of that. When your program runs and produces wrong results, you are having semantic error. So let's go. Press enter. You have hello, Jelly. That one, our program runs seamlessly without problem. To run seamlessly without problem. So now what we have now is getting more interesting. There is something when I run this program. If you notice that when I run this program, this thing is just blinking here. If I'm not the one that wrote the program, I've written the program initially, I will be confusing that what is this one asking me to do. It's just a showing of cursor, like we have it here. This cursor is just showing. There is nothing that is telling us what the information is expecting me to supply. It's just only because I was the one that wrote it initially that I know that I was the one asking for name. So there should be prompts telling you what they are expecting you to do. How do we indicate prompt in input? So let's go and modify our code to do that. So inside here, inside the parentheses, you can put quotes and write your prompts. The prompt that will display for user to tell the user what exactly you want the program is asking the user to do. That is, type your name. Don't forget to put it in quotes. Type your name. The cursor will now be blinking in front of E. So to now create a space, we now create a space here to make it look fine. So let's go and run it all again. So we are running one. Let me stop this one, and so don't worry about what it's telling you. So let's run it again. So you say type your name. The program is telling you to type your name. So it has prompt now that was not there before. So let me write my name again, Jelly. I'm still expecting hello Jelly. So the program runs. So we have added a way to get data from user and print it out to our code knowledge. Now a question now, 2 minutes.
So it's just like call and response. So the way we are expecting something from the user for the input, we are also instructing the in Python what to do next.
Yes.
So that means for every input, there must be an action that will follow.
Yes, there must be an action. It might not follow it immediately. You might need to, like now, I want to collect name, age, before I work on it. I might have 3, 4, 5 inputs before I work on it. I will start working on them because I will be saving them inside variable when I need to. So, but definitely when you collect something from someone, you actually have purpose for it. The purpose is to process it and give out output. We have processed it here by inputting inside here and using print to give out output. So let's take it to another level too. Let us take it to another level. Then let me check, the meet time will end by what's the time? In 12 minutes. I should use that 12 minutes to explain another level. And when I send another code for us to join in the group, you will have when you join, we will now work on projects today. We work on projects we need to do basic mathematical operation, then we work on projects. So now let's go. So now you will be asking me that there is something that I kept to myself when I was talking about inputs. Every function in Python has the data type it returns. Data type that it gives as I've told you that function is a reusable code that take data sometimes and perform a task on it. Sometimes it gives out output. In the case of input, it gives out output. That output is what is stored inside here. So because by convention, the return value of input is string, I don't need to bother myself to do anything on the data because the string I want to print that string out. You can see, you agree with me that hello Jelly, hello anything is a string. Like we have Oladele clothes, like we have anything, is a string. So you definitely, that means the data type I want to work with is the one that input gave me. That's why I don't need to bother to do anything on it. If like now I take number from user, number type 1, that one is a string, is a number written in this form in Python. It is written in this form, written in this form in Python, not this. There is difference between this one and one. This one is a string. This one is a number that can be used to perform mathematical operation. Can be used to perform mathematical operation. So if I was now given a string, by default input will give me string. I need to modify it and change it to number. The type of number that I actually want to work with. We have two types of number. We have int, we have float, decimal number, whole number and decimal number. So now let me now see how I can quickly do that. But before I do that, I think I need to talk on basic mathematical operation we have in Python. It is generally known to everybody. So let me say basic mathematical operation. Number 1, addition. Addition, which is plus. You use symbol plus to do addition in Python, like we do in all other mathematics. So subtraction. You use minus. We have division. You use this symbol. Is this symbol? Then you use multiplication. There is no multiplication that we are familiar with on keyboard, and this is what you use. Asterisk. It is the key on 8, second function of 8, asterisk. Then we also have 1, integer division, no, remainder. So remainder, we use percent. Remainder is that when you divide two numbers and it has remainder, we know what remainder means. That is, when I divide 5 divided by 2, now 5 will divide 2, we have 2.5. That 0.5 is a remainder. In mathematics, it is actually 1. It is actually 1. So that 1 is the result that this percent will give to you. So it will not give you the actual kidigogo. It is that percent, that remainder is what this one will give to you. So let's do some example. For this one, example is for addition. Now you can have 2 plus 3. It's a statement in Python. So for multiplication, you can have 2 multiplied by 3. You can see I'm putting space to make it readable and look fine. That's a convention. Then you can have 10 divided by 2. For minus, you can have 5 minus 2. Then for remainder, you can have 5 by 2. Sorry, let me put not this one. Percent. 5% 2 means that the answer is 1. It is not 2. So that's the idea. So we've learned basic mathematical operation. Let's try to print what this one will give to us. We try to print what this one will give to us to see if it actually works. Let me delete all this, or let me comment them out. So let's say print. Instead of writing text, now I want to do mathematical expression. An expression is a piece of code that produces a value. So a single statement, in Python that produces, that's what we call expression. So now if I say 2 plus 3, by 2 plus 3, in Python you have 5. The result that will be produced out is going to be 5. Let us try to run it and see. Let me comment out these lines. We are done with it, though we are coming to it, but for now we are done with it. So the program now that the only thing that will run here is this line, print 2 plus 3. So let's bring out our terminal and let's say run. So we are expecting 5 as a result, and we got 5 as a result. So if I change it to 2 multiplied by 3, so and run it again, you are expecting 6, you got 6. If you continue to change it, that's how you. Let me do the one that is not we are not familiar with, 5% 2. So our class will end soon. So I will end the class after this, then we'll come back and work with it with input, so that we will input those numbers from the user and perform some calculation on it. So 5% 2 will give us 1. So we got 1. It's not, we didn't get 2. The remainder is what the result will produce. So let's stop this class for now. I will generate another meet link code, then I will send to the platform for us to join. So thank you for your time. The class. Please mute your mic when you join the class. Thank you. So without wasting our time, so with now I want to create a program that will add two number supplied by user. Now any two number that user supply, I want to create a program that will add them and give out results. I want to create a program that will have those two numbers together and give out results. So I want to intentionally create another file for that. So I will say add.py, add.py. That's the name of, because the intention for this program, the one I want to create now, is just to add two numbers together. So we know that this is how to solve programming problem. The problem before us is to take, you need to write out the procedure, the process you need. The problem before us is, number one is to take two numbers from user. Number one, first thing to do is take two numbers from user. Then number two, the next thing to do is to add those numbers together. Then number three, print out the answer. I'm using print now because we need to be familiar with those terminologies, not display result. Print out the answer now. So when if I want to start taking this one after the other, when I want to take two numbers from user, that means I need input. From what we have learned, I need input. And I told you I need to add those two numbers together. That means they must be number. They must not be string. And by default, this one gives string. That means I need to convert string to number. So let us start one after the other. So let us start one after the other. I know that I need input. Excuse me. input parenthesis, and I will use prompts because I don't want to misguide my user. So let's say enter first number. The way I've written it is the way the thing will show on the screen, and I'll put space in front like this, so to make it look fine. And I will keep it, whatever the user enters, I will keep it in a variable. Let's say variable first underscore number equals to input. But there is a problem. The problem is that if you look at the documentation for this, look at it. Take note. My cursor. Okay, my cursor is going. Follow where my cursor is going. Look at this. This one is telling me sthout, telling me that the result of this function is going to be string, and what I need is number. So I need a way to convert that string to number. How? That is where this thing, as I told you here, all these floats, int, that is when they come to play. How? So I will call, let me first of all, you know this one already. It's not new again. Let me cut it and keep it in my clipboard. Now, I know that the input return value is string. I want to convert it to int. You will say int like this. You know, int that I have shown you before. Like this. So you call that int function. It is used to convert whatever the input, the string, to int. Now, like this. I will now paste inside the parentheses. I will now paste that input and the prompt. Everyone should understand it. We know this one before. To this side, we know it before. The new thing here is this and this, and it is used to convert whatever this one will return to int before saving it to first number variable. Before saving it to first number. So to do for second number, we say second underscore number. You say int again. Inside parentheses, inside it we say input. Inside input have its own parentheses too. Then you write your prompt. Enter, excuse me, enter second number, like this. So at this junction now, we've taken care of the first step. But I will program the problem we want to solve. We wrote out the procedure. This thing I've written is what we call algorithm. This thing I've written is what we call algorithm. Specifically, we call it pseudocode. We call it pseudocode. So is what I will be looking at to follow. It is because I'm teaching. If you are working on your own, you need to write it down and be following what I'm not after that. If you look at all these steps, you will know you have fulfilled the essence of this program. You will take the input, add them together, and give out the answer, print out the answer. That's the essence of the program. So when you have your procedure lined up like that, then you are good to go. So now, the second procedure is to add those two numbers together. The second procedure is to add those two numbers together. That is, I will say first number space plus second number. VS Code will tell me that you have written it before. That means I fulfilled this procedure. But the third procedure tells that I should display the answer. That means I will use the answer of these two lines, of this line rather. Definitely, if I want to use it, I will need to keep the result somewhere. I will need to keep the result somewhere. Where? In the variable. I can call the variable anything, but you know I mentioned descriptive meaningful name. That means the result of addition is what? Is sum. So you can use variable name like sum equals to first number plus second number. And the last step is what? Is to print out the result. Print sum. That means when I run this program, the cursor will be blinking with this text, enter first number. After the person have entered the first number, the cursor will still blink with this text, enter second number. After that, the program will collect those two numbers, add them together, save it in here, and print out the result here. So let's try to run this program. This time now, the program is no more app.py. It is add.py because I've created another program. That's what I told you. Python. Let me clear up. I have this program is still running. Let me close anything that is running so that I have clean sheet now. So let me say I want to run add.py now, working with multiple files. You asked the other time. Python add.py. Let me check if someone is at the gates to enter. I had a beep. Okay, no one. So let's see. Press enter. Yes, enter first number. Let me enter one crazy number that I might not be able to hide myself. Enter second number, another crazy number. I might not be able to hide up myself offhand. Then when I press enter, I'm expecting this code to run, and the second one, these two lines, this line to run. So I'm expecting results now. So I press enter, and I got answer. If anybody can confirm, it will definitely be a correct answer. It will definitely be a correct answer. So so far so good. We have been able to write a program that performs a task. And what is this task? Give the program two numbers, it will add them up and give you answer. So let's try to solve a real world problem. A real world problem. Like what? Let's write a dollar to Naira converter. Some program that you input figure in dollar, I will to convert it to Naira for you using a fixed rate. Your fixed rate of today. Anyway, I've checked Google for the rates today. I don't know. I don't want to argue if it is correct or not. That one no concern me. So where I've written this whatever. Okay. So the rate today is 1530.10. So let's see how we can write something like that. Is a problem. It is a problem. If actually you want to convert dollar to Naira, you start thinking. But instead of you thinking, that's when software comes into play. You have a code that you can input those things, that value, and get the dollar value in return. But before I go to that, let me modify this our code a little bit. You know, when this one display, if you are not the owner of this software, that is, you are not even seeing this. All what you are seeing is only this. You cannot tell us what this number represents. You cannot tell us that it is addition or subtraction. So it is not, the result displayed is not descriptive enough. You can make it descriptive. That is, you make it to describe is the number. What is that number? So it's a summation of two numbers. So you can say sum equal to this number instead of just displaying that number alone. So let us modify our code to show that. I've told you how to do that. Your text is the first one back. So let's say this coming. You say sum equal to, then you put comma. When you put comma, the next value is referring to this variable. So what we are expecting now is that sum equals to the result of this addition of these two numbers. Let's test it before we solve our problem today. And add.py, like I told you, you use this thing to enter first number. Let me bring it up for you to see clearly. Enter first number, arbitrary number, another arbitrary number, then we get sum equals to, this one will explain to the user that actually what was performed on these two numbers is a summation, unlike what we have before. So take note of that and you implement it in your assignment. And let's quickly, for now we want to solve a problem, dollar to naira converter, D to N converter. So I will short it when I want to write the name. So I will create another file. I'm deliberately creating file so that you get familiar to that thing. I click on it, I have this up, then I create another file. So now the name of the file, let's say dollar converter, because when I say naira, everyone will know that if something is converting dollar, definitely is converting it to naira. Let's say dollar converter .py, dollar converter .py. That's the name of the file that I want to create, and when I press enter, it opens. So you can see the active tab now is dollar converter. Now let's close what we don't need. Let's close all what we don't need. Now the procedure, like I told you, you got to write your procedure out. Now the first thing is to take dollar value. The first thing is to take dollar value. Then the next step is to convert it to naira. Then the last is to display naira value. Then convert it to naira, let me say using 1530.10 as rate. I've indicated in my pseudocode algorithm. So display naira value. So those are the 2-3 things we need to do. Take dollar value, then convert it to naira, then display dollar and naira value. Now let's go and start. You will agree with me that I want to work with money, and if I want to work with money, I'm working with decimal number, and decimal number in Python is floats. That means whatever the input is given to me, I will convert it to floats. So let's go and let me say create a variable dollar value, this is where I want to store it, and I know that I will definitely convert, so I will first of all call floats. Inside it, my input, then that is own parenthesis, then you have your quotes to write prompts like enter dollar amount. You can have, for the sake of to make it more meaningful, you can prefix that value the person will enter with dollar sign. So you have taken your input. Your first step is done. Then conversion now. You say, let's create a variable. The dollar value now, I will just multiply the conversion. The means of conversion, you just multiply it with this figure without n. I wrote n because I was writing pseudocode though. So now let's say, what name can I give it? Convert. Let me just say, okay, let me say naira value now. Naira underscore value is equals to dollar value asterisk, that is multiply, by 1530.10. Take note of one thing. If you are writing it in English or whatever, you put comma here. Nothing like comma, oh. Nothing like comma. So just take note of how I have written my own. Then I want to now display the Naira value now. I want to display the Naira value now. Naira value now. And what will I do? I just need to print out the result. Print. I'll first of all say, leave that space. I'll first of all say Naira. Let me write it very well. Capital N. Naira value of you see now, you need to make it as descriptive as enough. Naira value of what? Of this dollar value. Of this, I have to put comma. I have to put comma now. So to reference, because I want to reference after this string, I want to reference this variable. Naira value of this dollar value, I will still put another comma because I want to write equal to. Equal to in this case is string. So equals and another comma to reference the next variable. So this is tedious. There is a better way. Better way is what I will teach you next. Now, to write things like this. Better way is what I will teach you next. Now, Naira value. If you look at it, this one is saying the Naira value of anything that the person enter equals to whatever the result we got from here. So let's run our new program. Have you finished writing it? Yeah, be fast. So let's run our new program. Done. So let's run our new program. You will have access to it later. Now let me clear the screen. So we have another new program now, not the one we have been dealing with before. So you have Python. I told you if you write the first letter and the clinic will check from the names it has, from names of files it has, which one has D as the first letter. So you can just type D and press tab to complete it for you. So when you do that, you can press enter. Yeah, I have entered dollar value. Let me say I want to convert $1,000. $1,000. So when I press enter, I'm expecting it to have multiplied by 1,530.10 and give me result in Naira value. Let's see if we are able to get the result expected. Pram. Naira value of 1,000 is equal to 1,500. Now, there is one thing I want to do. You can see we have results as expected. Then I forgot here to put in here. I will have put dollar, and also in here I will have put Naira. Let me see if I have anybody at the door. It's okay. Everything is clear. So I'll have put Naira and dollar to make it just more readable. So there are two problems here. From what we have here, it's not showing as Naira or whatever, and it's not showing 2 decimal points. We are coming to that. Maybe today or we start from that by next class, because we have an assignment that I need to explain to you too. So let's run our program again to see the effect of this dollar and Naira symbol I've put. So now let's say $1,000 again. Let's say $1,200. Convert it to Naira. We have conversion of $1,200. We have it as this. So Let me entertain question from where we are. It's been long. I entertain question. So for 4 or 5 minutes or 2 minutes, as the case may be, so that before we continue, questions now. Do we have any questions?
So, what if okay, the reason why we use floats is because the our known value is in decimal.
Yes, we understand that it's in decimal.
So
It's in
I think,
decimal.
what if now you don't know whether what the user will put in the input is decimal or not?
Yes, in that case, use floats, because the the only thing that will be added is point zero, and you agree between that 12.0 and 12 are the same value in mathematics. So if you are skeptical that the person will enter straight, the one I even enter was int.
Yeah.
The one I enter was int. I did not enter 1000.00, but I intentionally use float because I know that 1.553.10 is a float. If you multiply floats with int, it will definitely give you floats.
Okay.
So there is no need to bother myself. I just use float. Float is more accommodating than int.
So pata to put point zero.
A to put point zero, and it is still the same value in mathematics.
Ah. Okay.
So, in the absence of a question, the class will end anytime soon, but I want to give you an assignment. Assignment. Assignment now. That is what we call BMI calculator. BMI calculator. The formula is that BMI value equals to weight multiplied by height raised to power 2. Height raised to power 2. And you can just say height multiplied by height. Height multiplied by height, because this is what you know for now. So this is the BMI calculator. In the clinic, you will not put. So your program should take weight in kg. So you indicate that weight in brackets, in your prompt indicate kg, and height in centimeter. Indicates too the height in centimeter, and produces the BMI value, body mass index or something. It's a WHO whatever, to know if you the rate. The interesting part of this work is that when you get your own BMI, you know if you are healthy, if you are underweight, if you have normal weight, if you are overweighting, if you are already overweight, or you are obese. It's just the play thing we used to play. So when you get your weight and your height in the centimeter, your weight in kg, and sorry, oh, I've made a mistake. It's divide. You divide, you get the square of this, or this one multiplied by this one, and divide this by the weight. The value you get indicates if you are healthy, if you are underweight, you have normal weight, you have overweight, or you are obese. So your and produce the BMI value. In the future, we will modify it to tell you, after getting the BMI value, we will now go to the scale and tell you underweight, overweight, normal weight. In the future, in nearest future, till the when we will get to that, we'll get our program will be modified and do that. But for now, we just want to print BMI value equals to whatever the result of this calculation is. So you need to write a program that will collect weight and height, and produce the BMI value. So lastly, do we have any question on what we have been doing so far before we call it a day today? Yeah, note it down, you will do the assignment too. So if there is no question, what we need to do, I will forward this code segment, the folder. I will zip it and send it to the group for us to have a look at what we have written today, to take a look at the assignments and the other thing, and we'll meet by Saturday same time. Saturday will not be possible. This week Saturday will not be possible. I think I will be out of town, and I'm not sure if that time I will be on the road or I will be where there will be no network. Or if in the group we can discuss or something, I can have 1 hour class tomorrow, maybe 1 hour time tomorrow. I don't know if it is before or after Juma. So but I know definitely on Saturday that I will not be in town. So we have to share. But our normal timetable is Thursday and Saturday. It's Thursday and Saturday. So if probably I still have the chance, I can reschedule it to Sunday morning. I can be available on Sunday morning. So but from 12 p.m. I'm not available. So if we can do the one of Saturday on Sunday morning, I would let us know in the group. So I thank you for your time, and I want to give you this takeaway. All this thing is a result of practice. You don't learn it and say I've done it. You don't know it until you start doing it. So try to practice everything we have written. I'll give you this code snippet. Don't copy my code. Look at it, close it, write your own. Look at it, close it, write your own. Where when you try to run it and you see error, you will go back to it, compare the two codes together, and see where you are not writing it well. So you will definitely learn by doing that than copy and paste. Copy and paste won't help you as a beginner. There will be a time you will definitely copy your the leaders in the industry code and modify it, make it suit your own purpose, and you work with it. So I wish you all well. So we'll end the class now, and we'll meet maybe by Saturday. We are meeting most likely on Sunday morning. Actually, the class is Thursday and Saturday, but Saturday I will not be in town, so I'm not sure if might not be in town won't affect, because I cannot predict where I will be by 5 p.m. I might be on the road returning home. I might still be where there will be no network. So I want to share. I may schedule it to Sunday morning. I will let us know in the group. Okay. So I'm expecting my assignment by. You said?
Some of us are going. Myself, I'm going
Oh,
to church.
that is true. So should we just have one class today, this week, and have two next week?
No problem.
So
That will be okay.
let's say we are meeting next week Thursday. We are meeting
Okay.
next week Thursday. So thank
Another
you.
thing I want to ask is what is it called? Uh,
You are free to ask in any of the two groups till I discontinue the first group.
yeah, yeah.
Ask question in any of the two groups. So
Okay.
all right. So we'll meet next week Thursday, God willing. So, so thank you.